Well, what do you know? 2 videos for me today on a Sunday no less. I usually film on my way to church, but I didn't do that today. So I thought I checked in a little bit earlier with you today, and I did end up going for a walk, and that made me feel so much better. And then I got home and I was going to read, and I thought, no, let's go on the internet. So I did go on the internet, and I found this article, Best Low-Calorie Vegetables for Weight Loss. I've told you that my new plan is when I come back from my trip, that starting next Saturday, I'm going to consider myself rejoining Weight Watchers. I'm not calling it WW, I'm not calling it freestyle, I'm not calling it anything, I'm just calling it Weight Watchers, because when I went to Weight Watchers, I lost weight. And that's my plan. I have a whole new outlook. When my birthday comes around, I'm going to be pretty darn close to Wonderland. I know I'm not going to be in Wonderland, but I am going to be way closer than I am right now. And I know I'm going to do that. One of the ways I have to do it is to eat more vegetables. I love vegetables. I tell you this all the time. I tell you guys this all the time. But for some reason, I don't put them into my daily routine, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. But when I get back from vacation and I'm going to do my grocery haul, you're going to see a lot of vegetables in my grocery haul. I'm going to cut back on my fruit, and I know that's going to be hard for me because I'm Sandy. I'm an addict. I'm addicted to fruit. But I think that my body has become so accustomed to it now, and it's not doing me any favors. And so I have to jolt my system. And I think the fact that I'm kind of went off tracking somewhat. I somewhat track, but not 100% track. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% tracking, but I'm keeping my food in check. That I am more aware of what I'm eating, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I think I'm jump-started my metabolism a little bit, so I think that I can have for the month of May, which is my goal, and I don't usually set goals, and I think that's my problem, is I've convinced myself that I can't set a goal, and so psychologically I've convinced myself that I shouldn't set goals. No, I am setting a goal that's starting on May 4th. It starts with an M. That's all that really matters. Starting May 4th. The 4th, I'm going to start off with whatever I weigh. I'm not sure I'm going to have a loss, but whatever it is. But on the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th, so for the next 3 weeks, and I'm even going to go into the first week of June, because the 25th, I think it would be June 1st, wouldn't it? I think it's June 1st. So for the first 4 weigh-ins, I am going to have a loss. I have committed myself to this. I am going to have a loss might not be a big loss, but for 4 weeks, I'm not going to see a plus sign in any of my columns. It's going to be all minus. And the best way I'm going to do that is to eat more vegetables. And good news is everything on this list, I love. I absolutely love. And I can't figure out a way to put them into my diet. The very first thing they came up with was broccoli. I love broccoli. I have fresh broccoli in my crisper in the refrigerator. I have frozen broccoli in my freezer. I love broccoli. I can eat it raw. I can eat it cooked. I can eat it roasted. I can eat it in a salad. I love it. So, there's 34 calories in 100 grams of broccoli. And I looked it up, and 100 grams is roughly about 2/3 of a cup. That's a pretty good portion size. You know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you put it on your plate, and even if you got like a cup and a third, that's only 68 calories. I'm not counting calories, but it just shows you that they have a benefit. They're low in calories, but they have such a huge benefit because they're so filling, and they fill up space in your stomach, and it can make you wait a little bit longer before you want to eat again. Plus, it takes a little bit longer, especially if you eat it raw, to digest it. The second thing is cauliflower, which is 25 calories rather per 100 grams, which once again, all of these measurements are 100 grams, and so you just have to remember it's 2/3 of a cup. So cauliflower is 25 calories, and it contains potassium, fiber, and vitamin C. I've always heard, and I think the broccoli, I forgot to look to see about that, but I think broccoli has potassium too, but don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive it does. But I always eat a banana a day because I want the potassium. And I love bananas, but bananas are very high in sugar, and I know this, and I still eat one every single day. I'm hoping to cut back on my banana intake a little bit. Maybe have a half a banana. I have to figure out a way to keep it Well, give me a suggestion how you keep it from going brown, like once you cut it in half. I've tried before putting it in a baggie, but it still kind of goes brown. But is there a way? Let me know. I'd like to know. The third thing, oh, and the cauliflower has I told you, potassium, fiber, and vitamin C. Cabbage is the third thing. Another thing I love. I am looking for the original Weight Watchers cabbage soup recipe. My mother used to make this back in the 70s and the 80s. And if anybody has that recipe, if you could share the link with me down below, I would absolutely love it. I know that it was made with cabbage, obviously, because it's cabbage soup. But I think it was made with tomato soup, or not tomato soup, tomato juice. But it might have been made with tomatoes, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, I love it. And it's 25 calories per 100 grams. And it's rich in fiber, and it has more fiber in it than cauliflower does. And there's so many ways you can use it. You can put it in soups. You can make it in salads. You can even make like a slaw dressing and put it on a turkey sandwich. Because I went somewhere, one of the restaurants, a local restaurant. It's not like a chain restaurant. But they had a slaw, a turkey slaw. Maybe it was at Panera's. But they had a slaw on the sandwich, and it really kicked the sandwich up a couple notches. It was really good. And once again, I do love cabbage. The problem with me is that Jim doesn't eat a vegetable of any kind. So getting a vegetable to stay fresh, that's why I like my Rubbermaid fresh Fridge Smart containers, because they really do work. And I can make them last a little bit longer. And I have to make the journey once a week to this fruit market. It's about a 25-minute drive from my house, but the fruits and vegetables are so much fresher. They're a little bit higher in price, but they last longer. And I think in the combination of them lasting longer plus my Fridge Smart containers, I can really maybe just go every other week. And yeah, I think that might be something I'm going to consider. Number 4 are carrots. Carrots are 41 calories in 100 grams, and they're rich in vitamin A, potassium, and fiber. I'll eat a shredded carrot. I'll eat a boiled carrot, and I like roasted carrots. I'm not a big fan of a raw carrot. I don't know why. It's not one of my favorites. And to me, it's very odd, because I'll eat it in any way, shape, or form except for raw. And that's really about the only vegetable that I don't eat raw. And I don't know why. I'll have to figure that one out too. I've got a lot of figuring out to do in the next couple days, or weeks actually, the month of May to be sure. Number 5 is spinach, like Popeye the Sailor. He always ate his spinach, and I love spinach. I love it in the salad. I've occasionally cooked it, and I'll eat it that way, but I prefer it raw in a salad. And I do like it occasionally on a sandwich, so that's pretty good. And it contains a lot of protein, a lot of iron, and it has all of the B vitamins, which you do need. Number 6, I keep naming. Why don't I have these in my daily diet? Because I have not named one that I don't like. Is cucumbers. Cucumbers are mostly water, so in the combination of drinking your water and eating the cucumbers, you might be going to the bathroom a lot. But I always think that maybe I'm the only one that thinks this way, is I'm going to the bathroom so much, I'm thinking that I'm peeing out weight. I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be so much lighter because I've let all this fluid leave my body. And especially if you've eaten out, the next day you probably should eat a lot of cucumbers just to get all the sodium out of your body, and it would really help. And it's only 15 calories in 100 grams, and it's loaded with potassium. Yet another food that I don't have to count on my bananas. Number 7 are mushrooms. Although technically they're considered a fungus, but who would want to eat it when you say it's a fungus? I know it's a fungus, but if somebody would say, oh, you want some fungus on your plate? You'd say, no, thank you, I'll pass on the fungus. But I love raw. All of these things I love raw, other than the carrots. But mushrooms, and I always like when you order a pizza with somebody that absolutely doesn't like mushrooms, and you'll say, well, just pick them off because you can't really taste them. Well, then what was the point of putting them on the pizza? Of course you can taste them. And I think I challenge anybody that says you can't taste what a mushroom. If you don't like a certain vegetable or a fruit or whatever, if it's on a product that you really like, that's the only thing you're going to taste is the one thing you don't like that's on it. But I love mushrooms. And mushrooms have 22 calories per 100 grams. They're loaded with potassium, and it didn't point it out on the other vegetables that have potassium, but potassium is a mineral that your heart really needs, and it protects your heart. So you really want to make sure that you get a lot of potassium. I think that's one of the reasons I still take a blood pressure pill. I thought I had my yearly checkup this month, and I looked at it, and it's not until June. I don't know how I got my months mixed up. But anyway, I'm hoping in June they can take me off my blood pressure medication. And I take a supplement, a potassium supplement, because the diuretic, which is the blood pressure pill, robs your body of the potassium, so I should be replacing it with the foods that I'm eating. Number 8 are sweet peppers, 20 calories per 100 grams, and they have 5 grams of fiber, and they have high amounts of vitamin C. Once again, another vegetable I like to eat raw, and I love it like in a stir fry, love it in a salad, I love it in my eggs, I love it everywhere. So that's another one I can eat more of. And the last one they say is lettuce, which is 15 calories per 100 grams, and it has a high amount of vitamin A. I will eat iceberg lettuce. I'm not a big fan of iceberg lettuce. I like romaine. Trying to think of it. I don't like kale, which kale was not on the list. I was really surprised that kale wasn't on the list, which is good because I don't like it. Celery is another one I like, and that wasn't on the list either. And I think celery is probably loaded with water. So if I was to go out and do my vegetable haul and go to a fruit market, I would get all of these, and I would add my romaine lettuce. I would add celery. And I can't think of anything else that they didn't put. You know, I'm not a big fan. I like corn on the cob. Like if you go to a barbecue, I'll eat corn on the cob. But it's not, you know, like it doesn't call my name. But anyway, these are the best low-calorie vegetables for weight loss. And when I do my haul, when I get back from Toronto, you're going to see almost every one of these items in my haul. And you're not going to see very much fruit because I'm going to try to cut back from my fruit a little bit. But thank you for putting up with me twice on a Sunday. But I'm really getting into this plan of losing weight for May. I'm really gung-ho, full force, 100% with it. And I know I'm going to be successful. And I know I'm going to go back to the original Sandy that started this channel and way back when. But when I joined Weight Watchers on December 31st, 2016, this is the dedication I'm bringing forward once again come May 4th, because I'm ready. I'm ready for this, and I'm going to do it this time. I've already lost 68 pounds. If I was to lose another 68 pounds, that would put me right about 170, which is right around where I want to be. So phase 1 was complete. Took a little break, readjusted. I've done some self-evaluation. Now on to the second part of my project, finishing it up. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.